We're here on TESPN Media Days, joined by a couple of senior football players, Zaire Rayner and Ryan Mitchell. Z, I'll start with you. I mean, you've been in this program now for 4 years, and really kind of even longer with your brother, older brother being here before you. You've seen this program grow and develop, and we've shared a lot of talks about what that journey has been like. Well, now you got 2 rings, you got a 14-game winning streak. You got a trip to Ohio here coming up against a big-time national program. And so can you just reflect on the growth of the program and maybe your part in that?
I think just the mentality of the program, how we evolved, how we changed over time. A lot of young guys, especially coming in with the mindset of 1-0. That's just not on the field, it's off the field as well. In the classroom, being a good student, being a good person in the community. So I feel like with that helps us grow as a program.
Absolutely. And then, Ryan, only your second year here, but I feel like you've already made a huge impact on the Trinity community and the time you've been here in the classroom as well as obviously on the football field. Can you talk about last year, as we filmed this in late August, just about a year ago, you were new to this group, and can you talk about just the process of how you were embraced by your teammates and how you fit in and now being a leader on the team?
There's no adult. Oh, no, I guess Coach Ron is there.
Last year, amazing seniors, Mario Thompson, Elijah Rayner, and plenty more. They kind of took me under the wing, showed me what it was like to be a Titan, showed me how to work hard. And now it's kind of my turn to pass down those work ethics and whatnot to the younger kids. So, yeah.
Z, let's talk about the defense. And last year was a historically dominant defense. Very few teams are able to move the ball against y'all, score against y'all. A lot of those guys walked across the stage in May. Still, a few great core players back from that defense, but it seems like the word on the street is we're going to have to outscore people this year. As a defensive player, when you hear things like that, does that motivate you? And talk about just your role as a defensive leader this year, what that's going to look like.
No doubt. In the locker room, all those talks are always had between the offense and defense. So, I just feel like as the leader of the team, especially leader of the defense, just understanding with the young guys the standard. The standard is to run hard, hit fast, and be smart. And I think we're teaching the young guys early and often how to be that type of player.
And then on the offensive side, a lot of guys are coming back, certainly at the skill positions. For you in the trenches down there, it all starts with that offensive line play. And for you as the senior, or as the center, you're sort of the leader of the offensive line. What do we have in store in terms of the Titan offense this year?
We have a lot of firepower coming back. We have an amazing offensive coordinator, Malcolm Bell, who's going to showcase all the talents on the field, spread the ball out evenly. We're going to do a little bit of everything, pass, run, whatever it takes, so I'm not afraid.
We've got a long, really impressive tradition here at Trinity of having our student athletes go on to play at the next level, which each of you are going to do. Z in the Big Ten at Minnesota and Ryan in the Ivy League at Penn. Don't necessarily want to talk about your commitment process yet, but just in terms of knowing that you have that squared away, whereas at this time a year ago you were still going through the recruiting process, can you talk about how that frees you up to focus on this senior season?
Definitely. I think it's important for me, especially coming in this year, to have my mind and soul focused on this season. Last year we kind of, I don't want to say breezed through it, but we had a lot of great help. This year is going to take a little bit more effort, a little bit more time. So getting to know the young guys, having to be here in Virginia all the time instead of traveling, that definitely helped. And the last thing I say is it helped me as a person, it helped me calm myself, helped me focus in school better, focus outside the classroom and on the field.
All right, how about you? By the way, congratulations on the commitment to Penn. How are you feeling about the fact that that's sorted for you?
Yeah, I kind of agree with Z. How the recruitment process takes a lot of focus away from the season, and so got that all done out of the way. So I'm really just focused on each opponent every week. How can I make myself better for Penn and to make myself ready for college?
And thinking about the fact that you guys, it's August 24th, I think. Y'all started practice July 31st, so y'all have been at it for a while. And really, I know for football, the grind really never stops. Pretty sure that Sunday morning after you won a state championship, I saw the DBs out here working, less than 24 hours after lifting the trophy. So it really never stops, but you've truly been in the season grind now for close to 4 weeks. what's something that maybe Titan Nation, that the fans of your team and this program might be surprised, like maybe a younger player who's really emerged, or just something that we may not know is coming that we should be keep an eye out for?
I definitely think the chemistry. Last year we had amazing chemistry, especially with guys that's been in the program for 4 or 5 years. This year we have a lot of young guys, but even just being here, we have a lot of chemistry in the locker room, getting to know the people. Even some coaches that are new, getting to know those guys as well. So the chemistry, we have a lot of young guys that are going to impress. To me, Trey Cherry, we are probably a starting outside linebacker when the season opens. So he's been impressive, and a lot of other young guys, especially, I'm proud of.
How about you, Ryan? Any other guys who've stepped up, either young returning guys who are going to play a bigger role, or maybe some new dudes like you were last year?
Absolutely. Our right tackle position is a new guy. He's going to be a sophomore, Big Brady Sackowitz. So he'll be holding down the line on the right side, as well as either Miles Love or Sean Hargan right now. They're 2 young guys competing for a spot. And another thing that might surprise some people, that we got a weapon X now. We got a running back 2. I'm not going to say any names. I want to keep it a little surprise, but shout out to you. You know who you are. And yeah, let's get ready.
All right, little two-way play, and that's gotta like that. All right, let's end it real quick with a quick lightning round. Pre-game hype song.
XXL by ESTG.
Iron Man by Black Sabbath.
Good one.
Your dream place to live, if you could afford to.
Dubai.
Greece.
Your favorite football player who you like to emulate.
Buda Baker.
Jason Kelsey.
Favorite NFL team.
Minnesota Vikings.
Baltimore Ravens.
A lot of purple. Don't know about that. And then finally, last one, who is the funniest teammate you got?
That's tough. I think the funniest teammate we have is Trey Brown.
Deuce Edwards.
Yeah, I was going to vote for Deuce too. I lied. That wasn't the last one. True last one. Funniest coach you have. We'll start with Ryan this time.
Funniest coach. Wally Rainer.
I'm going to go a surprise. I'm going to say Coach Mickens.
That is a surprise. All right, I'm going with Coach Knuckles. But thanks to Z, thanks to Ryan. We can't wait for the season. Silvio, Troy, and I can't wait to be back up in the booth calling the home games. Good luck in Ohio here in about a week or so. And everybody's hoping for that three-peat, but we're just proud of everything y'all have done. And thanks so much for joining us today.
No, thank you. Thank you.
Thrilled to be joined here at TESPN Media Days by football coach Sam Mickens as he enters his 11th year as the head coach. Coach Mickens, it's been, in some ways, probably a really long off season because I know you love this and you can't wait for the season to get here. At the same time, it may feel like just yesterday that you were walking off this field with a trophy in your hands and an undefeated season. First thing, just in this off season, have you had a chance to get away from football for a little bit and do some things you enjoyed?
Yeah, thanks, Rick. We as a family, I was able to get away and go to the beach for a while and just kind of decompress. Last year, as you know, repeating or the expectation of repeating really can wear on you. It was really, it was great. It was a wonderful season full of firsts, but the expectation of winning was really high. So when it was over, I was able to kind of exhale and look back on some of the more enjoyable moments from the year.
You could, I think, make a case, you would know this better than anyone, but if you look at the history of this football program, I think a pretty strong case that last year's senior class was the strongest class in school history from a football standpoint with, I think it was 19 seniors, 10 or more playing college level now. But you got a great group of seniors this year, I mean, if it wasn't for such a off-the-charts historic group last year, you look at this year's seniors and there are a ton of incredible Titans out there on the field and off the field. Could you talk about just some of the leadership that your seniors are filling for you in this early stage of the season?
Oh, gosh. That's a tough one. There's so many of them. I mean, Jay Williams and Will Rosen, Cam Walker, Ryan, Zaire, of course, who's really just a generational leader. You've got Cooper Gardner. I mean, it's just the list goes on and on. I mean, they are Brennan Ridley. I mean, they're just a strong group of kids who just really kind of try to do the right thing. I mean, I'm looking over and I see Declan over there. I mean, just on the field and off the field, just a strong leader and kid with good character. And you need that. I mean, it's not always the best players. I mean, you just need that stability, that scaffolding within the team in order to keep the direction focused on. Like we say, to keep the main thing the main thing.
Yeah, for sure. And then you and I have talked about this before, but for folks who maybe this is the first time they've seen you interviewed, I would be remiss if I didn't mention and get in a question about your staff. You've got an unbelievable group of assistant coaches. And can you just talk about how that frees you up to do the things that you're best at?
Oh, coach, it's unbelievable. I mean, let's start with Wally Rayner. I mean, one of the most unselfish, giving, but knowledgeable. I mean, you're talking about a 10-year NFL player, all great at the University of Virginia. Just a great human being, very bright guy, and just gives a lot to the school and the program. Malcolm Bell, Rosen. I mean, I'm not going down the list because they're all great. Coach Berkeley, Coach Grant, Coach Jerome, anyway, so I guess I'm kind of doing that. But those guys just all do a great job of not only coaching but mentoring the kids. They spend just most of their free time here. They're here in the off season. They're texting the kids. They're just pouring into these kids. And so I think, what people see on Saturdays really is the culmination of a lot of time and effort that they take to get to know our kids. Not just as athletes, they want to make them better people. They always talk about the 40-year plan, the long game, and even, when our kids are choosing schools, they're saying, hey man, look at this, not from a football perspective, but what's it going to be like once you're done with that? Or football didn't exist when you get there. What's the long game? So these are just some great men that are around these kids, and it really just shows up in different ways on the field.
And then I'm just curious, because you can lean on them so much on a typical day, if we're at a practice, what do you do?
Yeah, I mean, I don't really do much.
I doubt that.
I laugh. I joke all the time. Like, someone asked me if I had time before the game. I said, yeah, I can come over to your tent and talk to those folks. But it really does allow me to do what I think I'm best at, right? And that is just the people side of things. And just motivating kids, going in and solving problems, whether it's something between a coach and a player, or maybe it's not a problem, but just tweaking something and kind of being able to look over things. And it's wild, Coach, man. I'm at a point now where it's not a lot of stuff I haven't seen. So there are times, when I'm speaking to some of the younger coaches, I'm like, oh yeah, look at this. This is how this is going to work, or let's just change this. You just got to trust it, right? I know it's going to work this way. And so a lot of it is being able to kind of hover above the practice, so to speak, and kind of take it all in as a moving all 22 chessboard, and then make the adjustments that I think will help the team the best.
Yeah, that's really cool. Who's a coach, maybe either NFL or college, who I don't want to say you seek to emulate, but is maybe just a favorite of yours that you really gain some, just take some things from?
Well, it's the big three. So obviously Belichick, I do love, even as a Jets fan. But how could you not? I mean, he's just a great coach. Coach Tomlin. I really have worked to try to become that steadying presence. I think it's amazing that he's never had a losing season in the NFL. It's incredible, and I think it needs to be talked about more across all sport. And then Robert Saleh, the Jets coach. I don't think I have that all gas, no brakes in me. It's in me. I don't show it as much anymore, but I just love his enthusiasm. I love his passion. But he's really connected to his players, and his players really, seems able to motivate them, older and younger players. So those are really the three. If you were to look at today's game, that I would emulate.
And the rhythm of a football season, especially when it's the week of a big rivalry game, that it kind of builds throughout the week. But you have a unique opportunity here in just over a week for a game that it feels like a momentum's been building to for literally months. Mm-hmm. So for people maybe who don't know, you're opening the season in Ohio. Talk about just what that opportunity playing a nationally ranked program, traditional powerhouse, and it's not a road trip like, we're used to going to Norfolk or Charlottesville. I mean, we're going third of the way across the country. What's that going to be like?
Well, first of all, it's a great experience for these guys who, want to play college football. This is, what it's like, right? I mean, you're going to take some bus rides in your time, and, you get the travel suits and all that good stuff, and hotel pasta, so you get all that, right? And to me, when I look back on college, I remember those rides more than anything else, and the overnights in the hotels, and just the feeling of camaraderie. There are no fans. It's you and your teammates kind of versus the world, and so I hope they get that feeling. From a program standpoint, I mean, this is a culmination of a lot of work, from guys back in 12, 13, 14, 15, they would have dreamed of doing something like this. But for them to have pushed the program to where they got it to, and then for these guys, last year to have pushed the program over their 4 years here to where it is now, this is just, it's surreal for me. I'm glad my coaching staff isn't like me, because they haven't been here long enough to
realize
how far this is. Yeah. So to me, I still kind of remember, riding and playing Division III teams and eating a piece of fried chicken, coming home with the loss. So so this is a lot for me, and I'm grateful for everyone involved, all of our parents, our team mom, who's done so much to help us with this, and then all the parents who have chipped in to help, administration for, allowing us to do this. I mean, there's just so many moving parts to this. What's interesting is today I got a call from Archbishop Hoban's director of football operations. We don't have that here. So the director of football operations is me. It's Jennifer Rosen, our team mom, and it's Anna Prilliman, and it's whoever else is helping make this trip happen. So there are a lot of moving pieces.
And last one that also strikes me about this game is, this program really built its way up as the Hunter, really trying to reach the level and surpass some other local programs that had, frankly, more tradition than we did. And then last year we became very much the Hunted as the defending state champion. But it seems to me this is a game that kind of gives you an opportunity to be the Hunter a little bit again.
Oh yeah, that feels good. Yeah, it's. I'll tell you what though. I told this team this, and I'll share this with our community. I mean, this is where we belong. I mean, we're not running from it. We're not hiding from the success. We want people to come up the mountain, and we will fight you back down the mountain. I mean, this is not something that I'm going to sit here and do the old ho-hum and kick the can down the road. This is what we worked for. This is what we wanted, and we're going to stay here as long as we can possibly stay here.
Love it. That's a great last word. Cannot wait for the season. September 2nd against Archbishop Hoban is when it begins up in Ohio. Home opener, September 9th versus Fork Union, right here behind us on Aycock Stadium. And thanks so much, Coach Mickens. Can't wait. Good luck this season.
Thank you.
All right, I'm Sylvia Trua. I'm here with Will Rosen and Cameron Walker of the Trinity football team. Now, Will plays O-line and Cameron's on our D-line. Now, you guys have been on the team for 4 years. You guys have gone through a lot of seasons, a lot of players, a lot of role models. Who are some of those role models or people that you look up to now as a senior and that is a part of your senior role or maybe on the field and game?
Yeah, I think a lot of my role models have just been the past O-linemen. A lot of them, the biggest thing from them is to work harder, come out every day, try and get better. We got to build practices. That's the biggest thing about my mindset. Every day is a new day. Whatever happened to past practice, it doesn't really matter. You just got to build on top of it.
Exactly.
Yeah, so I've been on this team since my 8th grade year, 2019. Then the COVID year was the year after that. But it's going to be my 5th year on this team. And in my time here, I've had a lot of role models. Recently, John Brooks and Connor Erlenbach, Robbie Dunn, Hunter Brooks. What this team really taught me, moving here from a different state, different city, was just the intensity that you practice with every day. You always go at it. You're always hitting physicality, really what the game is about, and really playing on this team gives me the opportunity to play at a different level. I'm excited to just go.
Exactly. So, as you guys have gone through 2 back-to-back championships and a lot of success on the team, and I know that the Trinity overall football team has come up from playing D3 to now playing D1 and at the top of the scoreboard, things like that. How do y'all view, to stay humble, kind of would say, how do you view to put in your mindset, put in your work? What do you look forward to? I know you guys have the big game in Ohio that I know you guys are probably pretty excited about, but what do you look forward to, in the season?
In the season, every week. Every week. I look forward to every practice. Coming out Wednesdays, we hit the sled. Don't always love that, but you got to look forward to it. Game days on Saturday, love that. So, just every week coming out. Every week's a better week.
Something the coach always tells us is every week you want to go 1-0, and that's a lot really my mindset. Every day's a new day, as Will said. Every week's a new week. You just gotta put in the work. Never really rest on what you've done in the past. So keep moving forward.
Now, I know working with underclassmen can be a pain, and especially football underclassmen. But how do you guys take your jobs as seniors, especially starting seniors, to form the underclassmen and connect the bomb and really form a team?
I think the biggest thing is to lift them up because, everybody makes mistakes. I made plenty of mistakes when I first started here. So I think building them up and coaching them as a player because they know that I've been through what they've been through. So my advice seems to help more when I speak truthfully about what I think they need to work on.
A lot of what I think that my responsibilities as a senior this year are going to be are based on how I was treated as an underclassman in my past years. This is only my second year on the D line. I had seniors last year who really helped me find my way. And obviously seniors beyond that really helped me find my way in other positions and really be as an athlete on this team. So as a senior, I really just want to be somebody that they can look up to outside of football, be an upstanding person that they can, again, really want to model themselves off of. And really just strive for excellence.
And this is kind of for you guys personally. I know you guys are some of the smartest guys to have in our classes. I like to tell you guys some academic weapons over here. How do you guys manage such a school to, your work on the field ratio? I know that you both put a lot in the very high classes you take, and I know you guys put a lot of work on the field.
Teachers are usually really understanding when it comes to, hey, I had like a really long game like over the weekend. I'm not using simple assignments. I know Bill's better than me at physics. As a student, you really just have to be locked into like the work. It's really just a schedule of football and school. You have to be locked into those weekends all fall. You don't really get any breaks. You get some breaks, but they're pretty short. So yeah, I say it's really just about dedication and being able to switch between the two things, football and school.
Yeah, I think the biggest thing for me is using my time in school. The study halls are super helpful when I've got practice until after school, and then I eat dinner, and then I'm so tired I gotta go to bed. So using my time in school is the best way for me.
All right, let's move on to some fun questions about. All right, let's see. You got that pregame meal, pregame ritual?
Pre-game meal, chicken and waffles in the morning before a game.
All right, Cameron?
I'm gonna have to go with an omelet and a bagel.
Omelet and bagel. What about a hype game song for the locker room? What are you playing?
Walk by Pantera.
Okay.
Dreams and nightmares.
Oh, okay. What do you guys, view yourself doing? You got like the pregame stretches. You say anything to yourself? Say anything to your teams?
No, I don't think I really say anything. Just more focus on me.
Yeah.
Focus on what I got to do. Picturing what my job will be. It's the biggest thing for me. Yeah.
Cameron?
As a senior, I realize I'm probably going to have to be more vocal this year. But in the past, I've always, stayed silent. Like, I don't really talk. I don't really text anybody on social media. Really just in the zone. Focus on what you got to do that day. And really nothing else.
Well, I wish you guys the best of luck up in Ohio for your first game. And I know I'm going to be excited to commentate both of you guys up on Aycock Stadium on the 9th. Well, thank you guys so much, and go Titans.